you local?
Yes.
I wonder why you'd be here in the rain. Okay. I have to ask you guys, if you're local, does that mean local forever or just like, the last few years?
Last few years.
The last few years.
Last month.
Forever.
Okay, so these newbies here have to get used to, weather here because we have two seasons. We have summer. Everybody seems to like that. And then we have road closure season. And I don't know if you've experienced road closure season before, but it's a little different. It's not like, hey, the buses aren't running today. It's like nothing is running today. So you have to kind of like, make sure you have your stuff in your house. You gotta be ready for it, because it's coming. With this kind of weather, it could be next month. Who knows, right? But you never know. That's the one thing about living up here in the Great White North. So, anyways, I was supposed to be ready for this, so I don't know why I'm getting dressed now, but thank you for being patient with me. So, my next question is, this young fellow right here, does anybody know him? George. Well, George, there was a mailbox on here, and a mailbox changed our lives, didn't it, George?
Yeah.
A mailbox. I know it's hard to believe. Usually, it's a computer and you check yes or no, but this is a mailbox delivery that changed George and I's life. I understand that George's parents are not represented completely. They're represented enough that I want to thank his parents for two things. First of all, having George, and then having 6 sisters. He needed that experience. Having a bunch of sisters really prepares you for being a hairdresser, okay? Because not only do you know how to handle women, you're also really, really happy when men come in because finally you get some maleness in your life. So it really supports George in both ways, I think. That's a skill that comes right out of the box, thanks to his parents. So thank you very much. Thank you. So
He's running away.
He's getting the change.
I guess he's still on the clock. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, so I really want to keep talking about George, but he's not here, and you're not supposed to talk about people when they're not present. That's one of the things that's like the golden, My husband's a minister. He's got 10 commandments. The hairdressers have about maybe 20 commandments. And one of them is you don't talk about people if they're not present, because that's not healthy. So then the next thing I want to talk about, okay, is this thing that's going on. When we went to school, most of us, not you guys, okay, when we went to school, we used a pencil. And we knew what a pencil was for, okay? And you really needed an eraser. I think all you guys need to have is thumbs. You don't need pencils anymore. You just need thumbs. And thumbs, we didn't really learn how to use, but I guarantee you we knew how to use a typewriter. And we could do 60 words a minute. Have you ever watched these young people with their thumbs?
I know.
I mean, we should be like, they should be bragging about how many words they can do a minute.
60 a second.
Well, I bet you. And then I also think they have changed spelling. Like spelling used to be,
Like
long
love?
form.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen so many acronyms. My husband taught me one the other day. What was it? Excuse me. Hang on a second. It was something about you get another one for free. What was that?
Oh, BOGO.
BOGO. I'm like, he's saying BOGO. I'm like, BOGO. Is he on? Like, where did that come from? I don't know what BOGO is. Buy one, get one free. And I'm like, okay, did not know that. But these, thanks, THX. You guys really know how thanks gets spelled? I think if you keep doing that, you're never going to know how to spell words. So that's my opinion. But that's the cell phone is one of those things that you, like we do with all. What was that?
It's just the roof.
Wasn't me. Sounded like that's if it was the big pig, I'd believe it, but not that little pig. Anyway, on with cell phone. When I became a hairdresser, the pencil was something we still used. We had regular people coming in every Friday at 10 o'clock. Oh, she's sick, she's not coming in, we use the eraser. I mean, it was simple. If it's not a text, it's a message. If it's not a message, it's a Gmail or an email or whatever you call those mails. Like, arguing to people, pick up a pencil or pick up a phone too much. You don't do that so much anymore, unless you have it, stuck in your pocket or in your, wherever, in your corset. In my opinion, we have a lot of ways to communicate. A lot of ways to communicate. And a lot of people don't know how to communicate with their mouth. So again, my skill comes around again because I know how to communicate with my mouth instead of with my thumbs and with the, with the computer. So
A little bit.
Yeah. I know. So not everybody might not know this, but I got married 2 years ago.
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And
To who?
his name is Ernest, and he's right here.
Hi, Ernest.
He does. Him and I have a little bit different skill level here. First of all, I'm the talker of the couple, and he's the
I was gonna say personalities.
But the biggest thing is, he also learned to stand behind something and talk. He's a minister, and you know what? I work all week, so I can have Sundays off, and he works all week so he can work on Sunday. And I'm like, that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I just come from a different thought process. Like, I thought Sunday was for, taking the day off. Whereas, he gets on, I get off my pulpit and he gets on his. So what are you going to do about that? We get along well enough, I have to appreciate that about him, that he goes off and does his job on, and then I can tell you one thing that's really good for me. Look at that rabbit. That rabbit's happy.
Focus, Patty. Focus.
Yeah, focus back.
Squirrel!
Yeah, squirrel. No, that's a rabbit. I know that much. And I should make those guys come over here. You're missing out. Look at them.
Patty.
Okay, that was another squirrel. So, where was I going?
Oh, I was in my pulpit.
Oh, no, you're not in the pulpit anymore. You're on the phone. So, another thing that I really, really wanted to enjoy. I really like this girl.
She's special.
Special. I'm not sure that's a compliment.
What are you talking about? I'm weird.
Well, she matches. It works. So, one other thing I really, really, really wanted to talk about is think about this for a second because I'm not sure how you want
I was going to say what talk track's going on there, Patty.
My papers. I'm going to get my papers out. Hang on a minute. I got to go to my papers. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Talking? What?
No.
You haven't exhausted George yet either.
Well, he's back now. I will go back to George.
He'll be well rested by the time he has to go back to work, that's for sure.
So, there's another thing. When I was doing hair back in the day, we used to call it blue hair, blue rods, blue rollers. And hair used to just pretty much be a perm and really super curly. And we recognize those people as older people. And there's this new trend now that people seem to be young and wanting to have gray hair. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I think that just seems wrong, that you stand behind somebody in a store and you can't tell their age. Because you could always tell the people with blue hair what age they were back in the day, and that has changed. So the computers changed our industry. This blue hair thing with young people has changed our industry. And then we have a young person coming along named George Pentland, which is going to change our industry. Because he's the new generation. I am been doing hair for 41 years. George, how long have you been doing hair? Okay, so George just wrote his exam. And you know what that does? That gives him a license to practice hairdressing. But you know what the next 40 years are going to do for him? He's going to become... I finally got my license to be a hairapist. And I got that license 2 years ago. And I was like, wow. So George, you got a ways to go to get to be a hairapist. Because that's a long time. So I am also a hairapist. And I take that very seriously. I up my prices. I get paid a little bit better now. So thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl gave me that. I don't know, George. You got registered by the trades, association. I got my sanctification from a client, and I'm telling you, I'm waiting for my next one. I don't know what it's going to be and who it's going to come from, but I mean, I don't know what can it be after you become a therapist. I don't know what's next. Not what's next.
Heretic.
So, I gotta see if there's some more stuff I gotta say about George.
I mean, I think George is awesome.
Oh yeah, this is a big one, guys. I'm telling you, this is a big one, and this is like I think I know what George's next, what his next skill needs to be. I have had P-Zazz for over 30 years, and I mean it's P-Zazz, okay? I don't know where these people that come from this area think it says pizza. I wonder if it's like you come out of town, you've finished your coffee, you've tipped it out the door, your smoke is done, your beer's done, you're like, boy, I'm getting hungry. And it's there. And you read it because that's what you want to see. Because I personally think that when you see salon and spa after it, not pepperoni and cheese, why anyone would think. And again, maybe it's the age of this population, I don't know, because also when you're behind a long line of vehicles, when you live in the country, you would assume it's probably a tractor. But when you live in Huron, it's probably an old person driving about 60 when in an 80. And you need to have a lot of patience, you newbies that have moved here, especially if you're the one that's driving 80, because somebody's gonna blow past you, and they're gonna lay on the horn, and they're gonna let you know you're in God's country now. Let's drive like you mean it. So there is a problem with speed around here. Sometimes it's too fast, sometimes it's too slow. Listen to that pig. That pig is cute. Whose idea was it to put the pig in there? I love that.
Oh, I wonder.
I love that pig. So, okay, I got more. Let me see. One more. I do like the pizza one. That one, I had
Well, I
to
was
go
gonna
with
say, I
that
think you got something going there. Maybe pizza, salon, and spa. Like, eat a pizza while you get your
one.
right.
Okay, yeah, that's George. If you looking for an add-on service, I'm thinking the pizza thing. I'm not really into it. But
I don't mind eating pizza
I
while I get a
also
pedicure.
I know George likes to eat pizza. I think it's been dropped off here a few times, so maybe we're on to something. Yeah, I think so. And then another thing. Okay, this is me. I don't know about you because I know you're new to this area, but you could be smarter than me. But why is it a square? I don't see anything that looks like a square when you go to town. And I'm going to tell you something. I drove the wrong way on that thing once. And if you want to take your life in your own hands, do that. And it ain't because the cars, they seem to be okay. It's the people. It's the people. They like to give you the finger. Like, I don't mean that. I just mean like, you're going the wrong way. And I'm like, I already know this, but what do I do? Freeze, because it's not like you can dip out. Like, what do you do? Okay, I'll park the wrong way. And then what? Wait for hours till everything closes, everybody's dark. Because, at 10 o'clock, they roll up the square. So, that's okay. But that, and then there was another spot when you'd go where that new hotel is, there, I'm telling you, that new hotel saved me. Because there's spots there that you're supposed to stop. I went around that a couple times because I'm thinking this is Highway 21. You don't have a stop sign on Highway 21 unless it's a light. I went through it and I went, oh my God, after I went through it, I realized I went through it. So, just be careful of some of these. We only got a few roads, but you got to know how to use them.
It's 2 lanes too. I found out that the hard way around the 2 lanes.
Square? Oh, it's as many lanes as you can make it. As many lanes as you can make it. Yes, oh yeah. Okay, thank you. Some people understand me. Okay, they get me.
I understand. It's more like a hexagon. No, it is 3.
It's supposed to be 3.
At least,
Yeah, just you newbies, be careful of that, Yeah, I'm telling you. Look at Ernest, like I'm telling you now, yeah. But we have cake, And I mean, we have a big cake. We have only a few people. I really want you to have a piece of George's cake, even if you take it home and have it, because we really, really, really are. I love working with George. I love living with Ernest. You know, I have to put up both of them. But you know what? This is another thing that they both have to understand, and I don't know how you do it, and I'm going to give you a lot of credit. Listen, girls. Has your mom ever called you the wrong name? This is the time, truth or tell. Tell the truth. Have you ever been called the wrong name? Does she ever call you about 3 or 4 names before she gets to the right one? Thank you. George and Ernest, have I ever called you guys the wrong name?
You called me the wrong name.
I'm becoming my mother.
Yep.
That's what
we
happens.
all are.
So guess what? You guys are going to do the same thing to your kids or to even your friends. You know, it's no offense if you call it. It's just, you know, you got 10 things on your mind and you're lucky you can even fill out the name. But yeah, it's one of those things, and I do that a lot. And you know, it's like, no, Ernest is up there, George is down there. You know, because George works with me and Ernest lives up there. Like, you know, it's like, but I've done it a lot. And sometimes I get it out and I'm like, too bad. I already know I said the wrong name. Like, you can't say and it doesn't work. 2 years ago.
Ernest.
2 years. Jernest, seriously.
That's your new name, guys.
No, seriously, 2 years ago, this house was quiet. I lived by myself. I worked by myself. I had a few animals. That didn't change, but they didn't live with me. Now, I mean, you know, it's a funny farm, I'm telling you. Inside the house and outside. It is. But it's fun. So, everybody that, look at, did Adam come or just you?
Just me.
Oh,
Sick
Chris.
day. I got sick day.
This is Adam's wife. Adam's wife. Adam does the carving. All the work that's here, that's carved. Even that pumpkin, the orange one, isn't it cute?
I saw that.
Isn't it cute? I know maybe Adam won't recognize it anymore because George painted it.
Oh, I like it. I love it.
George painted it. If you love it, I did it. Yeah, it's cute, eh?
No, I think it turned out. You know what? I didn't even notice.
Now the top is natural, but the orange is pumpkin. But it's cute,
Are you
eh?
excited?
So he doesn't just carve trees; he carves other things. And I was hoping he could bring some stuff, but you know. Yeah, the carvings are awesome. So I plan to do another tea party. This one didn't go so well for us, but you know, it is what it is. It's the weather, it's whatever. But I'm really glad and thankful that everyone came out and participated in, you know, however it went. What can we do, right? Can't control weather, and we can't control a lot of things. But I do want to thank you. This property is going to be used for this kind of thing again, because I think it's perfect. In the summer, we'll do something more back further where the animals are or whatever. I really want to do a yearly tea party. I do, and I'm not into you know, wild and crazy parties. I just rather bring people together and be able to celebrate and community support each other. I've been going to the Blythe or the Auburn little event in Auburn, and I've met some lovely friends out there. And I've been planning to do this myself, the tea party, and I just, you know, you can say I'm going to do this someday, and I just decided you better do it now because we get winter coming and it's just a little bit harder to plan. So we just pulled the plug, and I'm really glad, because you learn a lot and you learn what you could do differently or, you know, how you could improve. So this was sort of more to me like more of a practice because, you know, with rain but I really appreciate everyone that made the effort to come in and support the people that have made the effort to bring their stuff. And I haven't walked around, but I would like to walk around still and see what's all here. So thank you so much. And I would have been a little bit more sharper with my jokes, but my audience is looking at me in a way that's like, wait a minute.
Would you do one extra joke for me because I was late?
Can I do an extra joke?
Yeah.
for you?
That was the whole reason I came. I wanted to.
What about the middle and the ends?
Oh, well, that's, you know. Okay. So I could have talked constantly about customers. Like, I mean, the expectations of people these days. You know, people tell me, you know, I want a trim. And they go, off my ends. And I go, no, I was going to trim the middle. You know, it's like, I'm like, okay, what are we dealing with here? You know, the next thing. You know how you cut my hair last time? When was that? You haven't been in a while. Well, you know, last year. I want it just like that. It's like,
What did I do last year?
you got a picture? Have you done anything to your hair since I have? Like, have you been trimming it? Because I go, 6 months, grows 3 inches. Okay, take that much off, should be good. No, I kind of watched one of those YouTube videos during the lockdown, and I kind of did a little trim myself.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, I'm telling you, George, I hope you didn't, like, I know that, you know, we got customers coming in that think they're a hairdresser. I hope you don't encourage that. Because, I mean, watching a few videos, does that make you a hairdresser, George? No.
If you do the ponytail style, it is.
Christine?
You never want to wear your hair down, that's sure.
Okay, so that can be a little bit of a problem when people come in and expect you to remember exactly what you did, because it's also how many haircuts did you do in between. Like, you know, I'm not just doing your hair. And I was really cool because I see they have a robot to do manicures now, and they do in the States. They do. But well, it's probably come from Japan to get that robot. But I'm not too worried. I do not feel I will ever be replaced by a machine. And that is the one thing that I really like about what we do. We have a skill, and we get a relationship with our clients, one that can last a lifetime. And if you love what you do, and you do what you love, why wouldn't you do it? And I watched George. He finished a client today with all this going on outside. He was so focused on his client. Unbelievable focus. I thank you for that too. Unbelievable. Quality and focus. And we make a good team, I think. I really do. I really strongly feel that way. And I told him, this is what I told him. You used to work for me. Now we work together. Now one of these years, I'll be working for you. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not gonna, just because I think I can do everything. Did you guys see what time I came out? I was under this woman. I'm surprised she doesn't have a big clock somewhere. Patti! She doesn't.
Don't worry, I did all the hauling already.
She did. This is Alana. Alana is a daughter of a good friend of mine that lives in Kincardine. Alana just moved here from the city. And she's making friends and happy and not looking back. And I'm in Toronto. Cool, eh? Yeah. We have so many people moving here. And we have the opportunity in our business to meet so many people. And, you know, touch them in a positive way. So it's, I mean, yes?
I was going to say, what's the mailbox? You said the mailbox changed everything.
Did I
No.
because he left.
I know the
It's
story.
George's
I know
fault.
the story.
I was gonna say, congratulations, George! Woo!
And I found a piece of paper in that mailbox. And that mailbox was a resume. Wasn't expecting that resume. You know, bills or happy mail would be nice, but I got a resume. And it was well written. And I was in a state where it was like I knew that I was too busy. And I also was at the point, just like now, I want to give back. There's a time where you need and a time where you need to give. And I'm at the age of my life that it's about giving. And some young fellow came and dropped it off. He dropped it off at other places, even first or last choice, however you want to look at that. But he dropped it off. And that's fine. He's not sitting around. He's looking for employment. And I think he made a good choice dropping it off at my spot. And we both have a lot. He's got animals at home. That, we have lots to talk about, even if I do most of the talking. But
I think that's your favorite thing about George.
no, actually, my favorite thing is I've never seen anyone in my life so reliable.
Yeah.
Reliable. But anyways, I could roast you all day. That's what you get for working beside me for so long. But anyways, so he dropped that resume off. He came in for an interview. The interview wasn't really an interview. What it was is a conversation. Again, probably I did most of the talk. But anyways, he came in, he presented himself wonderfully. Neat, tidy, and a gentleman. Again, not what you see a lot. He was 19 years old. And then I talked to him at the end because, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what options he's getting out there. And I just told him a few things of what I felt he should do. I said, I don't care what you do, but there are a couple things that I advise you not to. And he needed to get into a place where there was going to be opportunity to learn. Not just to get on the floor and get thrown out. Learn. Because when I finished hairdressing school, I thought I knew everything, only to find out that I was starting at the bottom again. Your pride, you can never get too much of that. And still, because the styles and everything keep changing. I learned from him now. He learned a lot from me in the beginning, and I know that he would say that. But I'm starting to learn from him now, which is really cool too. We learn from each other. We bounce back and forth. But that day he left. He didn't know how it was going to go, but it went well. We were both comfortable. And then a couple days later, I got a call, and he said, "When would you like me to start?" And he's been pitching in ever since. Right away, that was in July. In August, I got married. He's seeing a lot of stuff really fast. And he's just somebody that I can rely on, and so can his clients. He's building a nice clientele. He does need to be busier. So everyone, talk him up. Talk him up.
Good one right here, waiting.
Yeah. He needs to be busier. It's not enough just to show up for our job. We need people in the chair. And that is also going to help him in his thoughts of what he's doing and the direction he's going. We need to be appreciated and we need to be supported in our field. It's time. We exchange time for money. That's what we do. So, and we try to give a quality service. So, yeah. And so, George, just we went on a cruise. Cheryl, Ernest, George, and I went on a cruise in February 2 years ago. Coming up.
Before COVID.
And honestly, there's something about washing your hands, I'm telling you, that was starting to be shoved down our throat on that cruise, and we did not understand what was going to go. And we've had 3 lockdowns. We've survived. Hey, George has plenty of work to do at home. His mom doesn't let him sit back and, it's not like he doesn't go home on vacation. And I know that. Every time I go over there, he's chasing lavender or, planting garlic or whatever, and that's what you also have to do. You have to do what you have to do. Look at that girl. She don't like the witch, but, she looks pretty cute with the witch, actually.